What the Reserve does for me is makes it so I never have to pay cash for a flight again.
I definitely would not get positive value from this credit card. I just wish I could make back that $550 annual fee more easily. Chase, man, they got to get their act together.
I know,
They're
man.
getting too comfortable.
Might have to switch over to Citi soon. All right, today I'm with Chase Yokoyama, and what we're going to be doing is ranking every Chase credit card. More so specifically, the personal cards, the United, and then some of the co-branded card and the Marriott cards as well.
Exactly.
First of all, thanks for coming on, Chase.
No, thank you, Daniel. This is the first time meeting, and then this is nice. I'm glad you drove up to me. I appreciate that, but I'm excited.
Yeah. All right, so I want to kick it off by talking about the Chase Sapphire Preferred. One of your Chase cards,
One of my Chase cards.
Yeah, so I chose the Reserve over the Preferred, and we'll get into that in a minute.
Man.
But recently they upped the spend on the Preferred and the Reserve from $4,000 to $5,000, so a little bit more, a little bit less return on spend, but still doable. Really good offer on the Preferred right now, but generally 60,000 point offer after spending now $5,000 within the first 3 months.
Yeah.
5 points back on travel when booked through Chase Travel, 3 points on dining, streaming, and then online groceries, 2 points on all other travel, and then 1 point on everything else with a $95 annual fee, $50 hotel credit you have to book through the travel portal, and then an automatic 1.25 cents per point when booking through the portal. So what are your initial thoughts on this card?
It was my gateway drug. It was one of my first ever credit cards, my first travel credit card. And I think it actually is like a good beginner travel credit card to start with, especially with Chase. Get your feet wet. You get access to those Chase travel partners, the Chase ecosystem. So, I don't think it's a great card, right? I don't think it's first of all, I don't really put that much spend on it. I don't really use like the hotel credit I haven't used, which I probably should sometime. But I think it is at least an average card. I think it is a decent credit card that you can't really go wrong with. Personally, I use it mainly for the transfer partner access or the 1.25 cent per point travel partner travel portal redemption. But I mean, it's either that or the Sapphire Reserve or the Inc. Business Preferred card, and the Sapphire Preferred just fit me and my lifestyle more so than those other two. So that's why it's like a good card, not like a great card, not an amazing card, but it gets the job done, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's worth keeping open just for the access to transfer partners, especially if you're running the Freedom cards that we're going to talk about. Everyone talks about the Hyatt, easy 2 to 3 cent per point.
Exactly.
Do you think the 25% boost is worth using? Because I feel like if you're flying internationally or especially domestically with like United, you can always find at least like 1.25, but maybe not.
No, yeah. I mean, so here's the thing about that is for redemptions, like transferring them to a travel partner, I found, redemption values across the board. Like I think my best one was like 8 or 10 cents maybe. But it was like I'm pretty sure it was a whack situation where the cash price was elevated. Like low key, I want to say it was actually 41 cents per point. But I think it was especially because the cash price was so like inflated, it was just so crazy overpriced that it kind of skewed the cent per point value off of that. But anyway, I've also found flights for like 1.1 cents per point or 0.8 that I didn't book those, but as I'm looking, I see those come up. So like the 1.25 cent per point through the Chase travel portal, I think is a good compromise between value and effort. Yeah. Because for the most part, every time I'm transferring to a travel partner, I'm spending half an hour at least, or maybe even an hour looking at, what flights are the best to optimize the cent per point value. And to some people, that's a waste of time. To some people with families, or if they're trying to book multiple tickets, it's a hassle. It's hard to find multiple business class flights on the same flight if you're traveling with the group. So that's where the 1.25 cent per point value comes into play, because now it's just easy. You go to the Chase travel portal, find the flights, book the tickets, 1.25 cents. It's not 1 cent, it's not 2 cents, it's just like almost a middle ground there, but it takes like way less effort, way less time to get that value. So I think in the right circumstance, it's worth using. However, if you're someone like me where you just try to optimize everything and you have the time and you don't mind doing it, then look at the travel partners first.
So what tier are you thinking for this card?
I definitely not S, because that's like beautiful credit cards. C, I think, is a little bit too low. I would put it in, honestly, A.
I would
like
agree
an A- at least.
Yeah.
If
nothing else, just for the Hyatt transfer,
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I think A is good spot for it. And also, if you decide that you don't want to travel anymore, you can always get the 60,000 point sign up bonus, even redeem for 1 cent per point, $600, and then downgrade to one of the Freedom cards. So I think A is a good spot for it.
Okay, I'm glad we agree. Off to a good start. Good.
But let's talk about the Reserve. I feel like we're not going to agree as much on this one, just by your initial reaction. But I'll read through it and then tell you why I applied for it. $550 annual fee scares a lot of people. 60,000 point welcome offer after spending that same $5,000 within 3 months. $75 for an authorized user. 5 points back on flights through travel portal. 10 points back on car and then hotels through travel portal as well. 3 points back on travel. 3 points back on dining. 1 point on everything else. You do get some good travel protections. TSA pre-check. $300 travel credit, which is very easy to use. Airbnbs is what I use it for. But that effectively brings the annual fee down to $250. And then you get that 50% boost on everything. And, everything we just talked about with the Preferred, how easy it can be, you just times that by 2 with the Reserve.
Yeah.
And the reason why I love my newly added Reserve so much is for that 50% boost, because honestly, 100% of the travel that I'm doing right now is just economy domestic flights. And it's hard to find over 1.5 cents per point for that a lot, So, but what the Reserve does for me is makes it so I never have to pay cash for a flight again as long as I have Chase points.
Yeah, that's understandable. Okay, actually, no. I was gonna ask for your ranking for it, but I'll say like what I have to say about it first. So I definitely would not get positive value from this credit card.
Really?
The $300 travel credit, I love. Everyone loves. I cannot complain about that. Then you have $250 effective annual fee remaining. Then people throw in like the limited time partner benefits.
There's a $10 lift right now.
Yeah, that, and was it
Dash Pass,
and then some credit for that too. But I'm like, that's too much work for me, and I just would not get positive value from it, because also I don't use the transfer partner. Sorry, I keep saying transfer partner first. Obviously, you can see my bias. I love transfer partners, but the travel portals I don't use as much. So that 1.5 cent per point value, I just don't have too much value placed on that, because I don't usually use that benefit. So, however, I could see how, like you mentioned, and how other people might use it a lot, is if they just that's what they do. Like, they just send points through the Chase travel portal, so they want to get that 1.5 cents per point value. So I get that. And that's why, this credit card is worth it for you. Also, if you want like the Sapphire lounge access or lounge access in general, that's another reason to get the Reserve over the Preferred, right? Assuming you don't have another credit card that gives you lounge access already. Same goes for the TSA pre-check and global entry credit, because I love, like, you have to have global. You use it, obviously, right? Global entry. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if you want lounge access and those travel benefits, then okay, the Reserve could be a better card than the Preferred, especially if you don't have other travel credit cards that give you those benefits. But for me, I just wish I could make back that $550 annual fee more easily. And yeah, that's why I don't love the card.
Yeah. Well, you are in LA, and they are planning to add a Sapphire Lounge. But I will say, I think lounge access is pretty overrated. Just like as I got the card like a month ago, and I've been in Sapphire lounges 4 times. Philly, Austin before it closed down, and then the Phoenix Lounge twice. The Phoenix Lounge was honestly horrible. Like I would have preferred just like going to a pickup 6, just because the food was pretty trash. I don't really drink, so I don't really care about the bar. They just had like, I don't know, the food was like horrible. It was super packed. I was traveling on like a Monday, which I don't know. I would assume is a slower day for airports.
Yeah.
And both times I went in, it wasn't, the airport wasn't super crowded, but I still had to wait like 25 minutes. But yeah, that's kind of a side tangent. I don't know, but for lounges, you kind of, I don't know, you got to walk like 10, 15 minutes sometimes. Wait list on top of that. I mean, even that, you know, can be 40 minutes, 20-minute walk there, 10-minute walk, 20 minutes waiting, and then you got to walk back too. But yeah, I think if you have like a Philly lounge, or maybe I assume the LAX one would be really nice, that could be worth it. Or if you have long layovers, but I don't value the lounge access as much as some people do, you know?
Yeah. And I want to talk about that real quickly. But first of all, we said pickup 6. What is that?
That's just like a ripoff, like a cheap Thai place. It just,
is it like a franchise?
It's just like it's like some like cheap restaurant.
Okay.
Like fast food place.
Yeah. I mean, well, also four times to the Sapphire Lounge in a month. That's impressive.
Yeah. I mean, I don't usually travel that much,
ones
but
too.
Yeah.
But dude, I agree though. Lounge access, I think, comes in handy in 2 different scenarios. One is a long layover, and 2 is if your flight gets delayed or canceled. Because I am the type of person, doesn't matter where I am, that I want to just show up to the airport, go through security, and get on the airplane.
Yeah.
You know, I'll get food outside, you know, on the way there or whatever it may be. I shower wherever I was before. So, I mean, I don't drink alcohol too much either. So I just like, why would I want to go early and be like, ooh, I get to wait in line for some lounge and some, you know, cold sandwiches. I don't need that. So, yeah, I have definitely, you know, used lounges on layovers, or when long layovers, to be specific, or when flights got delayed or canceled. And that is huge. You know, I just take a shower in those long layovers. Like one time specifically, this was back when I was living in Hawaii, I went through Seattle on my way to Paris. Was it Paris? It was Paris. So we stopped in SeaTac, and I went to the Delta Sky Club there. Nice. It's a nice lounge, by the way. It's a nice lounge. 2 stories. Nice. Had showers. And while I was there, it just felt so good to, you know, have that shower before the next flight. Had to go all the way across, you know, to Paris. So it was nice to, you know, shower, freshen up. But if I was like in Seattle, you know, just was staying in Seattle and just flying from there to Paris, I wouldn't have gone early to get that shower. It just wasn't worth it. It was only because it was a layover. So I agree. Lounges, I think, are overrated. They're long. You know, long lines could get busy. You have to walk to different terminals sometimes. So, it's all right. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a perk. Like, that's cool. Like, the Philly lounge was sick, but, you know, I don't like really. I don't think it lowers my effective annual fee. I'll say that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So where do you rank this card? For me, personally, like just in my own life, I think it's A tier.
Okay.
I think one day maybe I'll downgrade it if I get like the Venture X. If not, I might keep it open. I don't know if I'll be able to get approved for that card, but what do you think? I think B tier is fair.
Yeah, I think I was gonna say B tier. Say B tier. Yeah. We could say B plus.
We'll leave it in the B tier.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you want one of the 2 cards, I think the Preferred is the easiest, you know, the best option to go into it if you're not sure. You know, same transfer partners, only $95, less commitment. You can always upgrade or downgrade. So
exactly, can't go wrong with that.
But yeah, let's move on to the Freedom cards. Do you hold either of the Freedom cards?
Oh yeah, I love the Freedom cards, the Unlimited and the Freedom Flex.
Okay, let's talk about the Unlimited first. Okay. So 1.5% back is the flagship feature, you know, but it also gives you that 3 points back on drugstores, dining, and then 1 point on everything else, and then 5 points when you book it through the Chase Travel Portal. $200 sign-up bonus after you spend $500 within 3 months. 0 APR for 15 months. And can you explain why, even though it is a cashback card, people recommend it so much?
Well, yeah, I mean, I definitely. Okay, so like the big thing about it, like you mentioned, is the 1.5% cash back on every purchase, which I'll actually get into a little bit. Or actually, I'll just say it now. It's not that impressive anymore. Like there's so many cards that give you 2x or more on general purchases, but I think the big appeal is that it's with Chase, though.
Yeah, and it's not actually cash back there. When you have one of the Sapphire cards, it's
exactly. Once you combine it with the Sapphire cards, you know, or I think the Ink Business Preferred as well, you get access to those travel partners that we're hyping up so much, and you could transfer your points from your, you know, Freedom Unlimited card to be used in the Sapphire card, and that's where it becomes the most powerful, because then you could capture your points with the Freedom Unlimited, send it over to your Sapphire cards or whatever, and transfer it to a partner, and then wow, you just have so many Chase points to use in theory.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why they just don't make it a 2% back card. There's so, I mean, it feels like every issuer, you know, even Navy Fed has a 2% card now.
Yeah. Chase is too comfortable. They're too comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, there's the Chase trifecta is still great, but it's like there's so many gaps, so many like do all 4 cards really need to have 3% back on dining? And I don't think so.
There's
no grocery category.
Exactly. Yeah. There's a lot of hope, but we keep crawling back to Chase. I know.
Yeah, I mean, I got in the Chase game late. I just got, you know, I got like 4 credit cards before my reserve, and now I'm kind of gardening. But yeah, I mean, if you're a huge Hyatt fan, then I think it's still a great card to put all your spend on.
I agree.
I think I'd rather put my spend on the Venture X if I get approved for that. But yeah, still a good catch-all card. What would you put it at? I think.
So I know if you are a free agent, you're not super loyal to Chase or one bank or the other, this card isn't as powerful. So I would say like a B tier even. If you really love Chase, like, oh my gosh, you're a Chase fanatic, then okay, maybe that's an A minus, but that's a huge maybe, you know, because I mean, I have the Amex Blue Business Plus card, which is 2x, right? And that has Amex has, you know, good transfer partners too. So it's like I would use that card over the Freedom Unlimited. So I think final answer though would be B. Like it would be some sort of
I would completely agree. Right? The Freedom Flex though, some people don't like it as much as the Unlimited, but I actually like it way more than the Unlimited, to be honest.
Yeah.
I always I don't know if you watch football, but I compare it to like Taysom Hill. Like it's not useful on every play, but when it is useful, you know, you can get a lot of Chase points from it. But 5% rotating categories are usually pretty good, usually pretty useful. I'd take it over pretty much any other rewards or cashback points card.
Yep.
Yeah, what do you think about that card? Same sign up bonus, pretty much same in every aspect except besides that 1.5% you're getting the rotating 5.
Yeah, I agree that the Freedom Flex is a better card than the Unlimited. I like it more. Exactly for what you said. The rotating categories sure are like a pain sometimes to have to remember to activate it or remember what quarter it is, you know, like I didn't realize I activated it, but I forgot that this quarter right now, and it was this Q2 of 2025, like Amazon.com is one of the categories. So I already made Amazon purchases this whole time. I'm like, oh my God, I should have been using this card. So, you know, I forget sometimes, and that's like a downfall. But like you said, there are some pretty decent categories throughout the year that you could take use of. Like Amazon.com is a huge one. Like I shop on Amazon a lot. So the only other card that I would use for Amazon, which I think we'll talk about later, is the Amazon Prime card. But I would choose the Chase Freedom Flex card over that card, even though they earn the same 5x on those Amazon purchases, at least when it's in the rotating category for the Freedom Flex. So, you know, there's grocery stores sometimes, there's gas stations. I think there was like Airbnb one quarter. Maybe I think that might have been wrong actually.
It might have been PayPal, which you can.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know PayPal for sure is a common one, and I've used that for Airbnb. But yeah, I love it like a lot more than the Freedom Unlimited card.
I think I'm gonna run that and then the Flex. I don't know if I'll ever add the Unlimited. I don't know where I'd put that in my roadmap. I'll probably downgrade in 4 years, just so I can hit another preferred sign up bonus. But for me, the Flex is an A tier card. Would you agree with that? or would you still leave it in
Low-key,
B?
I would even throw it up in the S tier, just a little bit. I mean, because it's also a no annual fee credit card too. So I'm like, any card with no annual fee is a plus. I mean, sure, it takes up like a 524 slot is like the opportunity cost most of the time, but no annual fee card, Chase ecosystem, cool categories. But maybe S is I'm a little too excited.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe
there is
I'm a
that
huge Chase
$1,500
fanboy.
cap, which is
yeah.
sort of
If you could run 5x on those categories unlimited, that'd be insane. People would abuse that so hard.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, fine. We'll say
Okay.
A. We'll say
We'll
A.
throw it in the A.
I will say A plus though.
All right. Let's put up.
But
top
A
of-
nonetheless.
top of A tier,
A nonetheless.
Our next card, not really talked about, but the Chase Freedom Rise beginner card.
Okay.
No annual fee, unlimited 1.5% back on every single one of your purchases. You can use that when you have one of the Sapphire cards. You could save that up, of course. You're pretty much guaranteed to get approved if you have a Chase checking or savings account with $250 in it. $25 sign-up bonus when you enroll in automatic payments.
Yeah.
Limit increases. The biggest thing about this card is that after a year, it'll turn into the Freedom Unlimited, and that can just launch you straight into the Chase ecosystem.
Right.
So, do you is this one of your recommended starter cards? How are you feeling about this card?
Well, the tricky thing with Chase is that a lot of the times when I have people apply for it, or like, you know, when people have no credit card, they're like, Chase, what should I get? Right. I always say, usually, like, okay, look at Chase cards, not to apply, you know, because they're really stingy about first time applicants, but, you know, like I'm telling them, this is your roadmap. Chase should be in your first couple cards, right? Take a look. But I always have them send it to the Discover It card.
Yeah,
because that's usually what accepts people. Discover accepts people too. So it's like you got to get your foot into the door with the credit card game, and Discover is like right there, ready to open the door for you. You know, with a warm hot chocolate. So
yeah,
Discover.
you're gonna. I mean, I think. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go for it.
Going with the Freedom Rise will give you like the best path to a good credit card setup. You know, you can just build out the Chase trifecta, get two more the Flex, and then one of the preferred cards, and then if you want to quit the game after that, you're good. You know, but Discover is going to give you infinitely more cash back, especially that first year. If you use a referral link, that's an extra $100 as a sign up bonus. So yeah, I would agree with that. But I think as a starter card, it's still top three,
it's
you know,
decent.
outside of Discover. And then if you're a student, you know, the Saver student card. But for me, I think, I don't know, man.
I haven't actually had someone in my personal experience like apply for that Freedom Rise card off the jump.
I know a lot of college students that have.
Really? Okay, I need to experiment. Maybe the next friend that asks me for a recommendation, I would just say Freedom Rise and then have them try and get it. Yeah, exactly. See, like RIP to your credit score if you get hit with the check and you not get accepted, but it's fine. You'll bounce back. But for the right circumstance, yeah, as a starter, for sure, you could look into it. If you're already into the game, like honestly, if you have one credit card already, I think that automatically disqualifies you from getting this card. Like you shouldn't look at it. You should be looking towards the future.
Yeah. So, what do you think, B? Just as a starter card?
I know I said B before. Okay.
I think B is fair because it'll turn into the unlimited.
Yeah, it's not totally bad.
It's a starter, but yeah. All right, next card. We're moving away from the ultimate rewards.
Yep.
Earning cards onto their co-branded cards, and I kind of just threw these in because I thought they were funny, and they are Chase co-branded cards, and that's that's the Disney cards.
Yes.
So first is the Disney Premier, usually a $300 sign-up bonus right now. Sometimes it'll bounce up to $400 after spending $1,000 within 3 months. $49 annual fee. 5% back on Disney purchases or Disney. Made it, Disneyland or the resorts, Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN Plus, and then 2% back at gas station, grocery, restaurant. Actually, it's only 2% back at Disney locations. So,
awesome.
1% back on everything else, and then redemption's also horrible. You can only redeem it for like statement credits at the resorts, or the best is airfare. And then the worst thing about this card is they give you 0 APR to finance like Disney vacations, like cruises and stuff. And like, I don't know, man. I feel like if you're financing a Disney vacation for 6 months, which isn't even that long, you're kind of financially cooked at that point.
Yeah,
Like,
you're financially cooked. It's a good way to put it. Yeah, it's a nice way of saying that. You should not be. You should not be doing that.
yeah. So before we talk about this card, we'll move down to its little brother, which is the Disney Visa card. $200 sign-up bonus after spending $500 within 3 months. 1% back on all your 1% back in Disney dollars on all card purchase, whatever that means.
Right.
I mean, the only argument that I've seen for these cards is, one, you get like to choose your Disney.
Man.
You can have like, I don't know, Buzz Lightyear or something on your card, and then you get 10% off of their
like
parks. Which I guess could save you money. Like, you know, you're spending like $50 if you go eat at one of their parks. But then again, like if you're spending like hundreds of dollars at Disneyland, you kind of gotta rethink your life choices as well. I think, especially opening up a credit card for that. But yeah, the only other argument I've seen is hitting the $400 sign-up bonus and then downgrading or canceling it. But like, I don't know. At that point, I feel like there's other sign-up bonuses you could hit.
Yeah, no. Another thing to bring up too is they have a Disney debit credit card. So with Chase, and it gives you at least that 10% discount in park. Yeah, it was like in park or whatever. So if you wanted that discount, you could get the debit card instead and not have to, you know, use a credit card slot for that perk specifically. But yeah, I'm not a huge. I know there's a guy named Chad Pennycuff. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's my DVC points on social media.
Is he? Does he do YouTube?
He does YouTube. Yeah. Okay. But
if I saw his face, I would recognize.
Yeah, he specifically specializes in like Disney vacation rentals though. Like that's DVC. That doesn't add up though. What does the C stand for? Disney Vacation Rentals with a C, I guess. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot, Chad. But anyway, he's like a hardcore Disney guy. And I want to say, I mean, I want to quote him, but I'm pretty sure he didn't even recommend the credit cards.
Yeah.
Being a hardcore Disney fan himself, I'm pretty sure that's a stretch. Don't quote me on that. But I also agree, like how you said earlier, that we should probably put that spend on another card to get that sign-up bonus. And
I don't know, man. I feel this is kind of a side point, but I feel like you got to rethink things if you're like, even like going to Disney more like without kids. Like I got some like friends that go to college with me, and they're like, I don't know. He's just telling me like a couple months ago, like, oh, me and my roommate, we got like Disney passes, so we're gonna like go down every week. Like I don't know, man. Like I don't know if you've been to Disneyland. I went for like my high school graduation, but like. Yeah, I feel like you got to rethink things if you're like frequently going to Disney.
Shots fired. I mean, shoot.
I mean, if you have wife or kids or whatever, right. That's obviously different. But like, I don't know, man. Like, how many times can you like go on the little song that like drops down? Yeah, the log mountain or whatever.
The Splash Mountain, but they rebranded that. They reimagined that.
I know what you're talking about.
But, maybe.
Sasquatch?
No, it's the Matterhorn.
Yeah.
Actually, okay, it does not start with an S. Anyway, so like I like those rides. It's hard. I mean, I actually just went to Disney with Chad recently, but he was really awesome. It was like some special access thing he invited me to, so I'm very thankful for that. Thank you, Chad, again. I mean, I go there every once in a while, but again, it's with family usually.
Yeah, I mean that's understandable.
Like my brother, who's like 15, goes there. I don't think I would go there with just me and like the boys though.
I mean that'd be fun like once a year. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, because now we could drink on property. When I used to go a lot, I was a kid still.
Yeah,
but you could get a nice beer and go on the Matterhorn.
I mean, Disney's kind of just been like, we're kind of getting away from credit cards too much here, but it's just been pissing me off in general, man. Like all the Marvel movies have sucked ever since. I mean, they had one good Spider-Man movie, but. I don't know, man. I didn't even see Snow White, but I didn't hear good things about that one.
I've heard there's a lot of like drama going on with that movie. Yeah, I didn't watch that either.
Hopefully they turn things around with Marvel. Deadpool was good, but
I love Deadpool.
Great movie. Deadpool was good. Anyways, where are we ranking this cards? I think easy D tier. That's the lowest we Disney. Have. Yeah,
exactly.
All right. Next up, we have another co-branded card, the Prime/Prime Visa. So. Pretty much the way that these cards work is if you have Amazon Prime, even if you apply for the Prime Store card or whatever it's called fresh, you're going to get 5% cash back on Whole Foods, Disney, or sorry, not Disney, Whole Foods, Amazon Fresh, and then Amazon, of course. 99% of people just leave it in their sock drawer, have it for their 5% back on Amazon purchases, which is what I do. Usually a $100 sign-up bonus, but if you want this card, I'd recommend waiting till like Prime Day or one of the Prime events, or even like Christmas. It's usually bumped up to $200, but I think this is a really solid card, man. You can just leave it in your sock drawer, earn that 5% back. If you choose no rush shipping, it goes up to 6% back most of the time. So you have this card, right?
I love it.
Great card.
This was actually my first no foreign transaction fee credit card, and that's exactly why I got it. I was studying abroad in Copenhagen, Denmark, and I was like, oh my God, I need a credit card now with no foreign transaction fees. And I don't remember why I didn't try to go for the Sapphire Preferred. I want to say I didn't apply and I didn't get denied, but maybe I'm just coping and that's actually what happened. I don't remember, so we're going to say I didn't apply. But I went to the Amazon Prime card, no foreign transaction fees, no annual fee. I was already paying for Amazon Prime. So that's why it's no annual fee. Or you could say the Amazon Prime membership is the annual fee, you know, at least it comes with it.
I was paying for that before I even got the card. But some people do like to bring that up.
I think it's a great card. If you have a lot of Amazon purchases, this is the card to put it on.
Yeah.
Aside from when the Freedom Flex has the elevated rotating category like how it does now, you know, this is the card to earn the 5X on. And here's a little trick too. I don't know if you do this, but it's a small trick. It's a small trick. But so you get the points, right? The Amazon, it's not technically the right Chase Ultimate Reward points. We're just going to say Amazon points for now.
Cash back, whatever.
Yeah. You get the Amazon points after your Amazon purchases. You could use it, and I used to do this for the longest time. You could use it just as a 1 cent per point value to go back onto your next Amazon purchase. You know, so if you have $100 worth of Amazon points from this credit card, you get a $100 thing from Amazon for free.
Yeah.
Free. So I used to do that a lot. But here's what I do instead now is I redeem those Amazon points now. I send it as cashback to my bank, which is also at a 1 cent per point value or ratio. So I send it to my bank, and then, so I'll use the same example. Let's say I have $100 worth of points. I redeem that as cashback. So there's $100 in my bank account now, and I want to buy the same $100 item.
Yeah.
I put that back on my credit card, so now I'm earning 500 points, right? 5 times $100, so I get 500 points from that purchase, and that's 500 points that I wouldn't have gotten if I just directly used the $100 of points to redeem it for the $100 purchase, if that makes sense. So it's not,
I get what you're saying. Like if you had, let's say you had $5 in cash back and you're buying something for $100, you applied it at checkout, that would make it $95, and you're only getting 5% back on $95, regardless of if you know you send it to your bank account, then you're getting 5% back on the full $100. Small, but
very small,
makes a difference. I actually just started doing that. I heard you and then Spencer were talking about that.
Okay,
yeah, a little bit of extra value there. And then one last thing is you do get 2% back on gas stations, restaurants, and then local transit and commuting. Small, but I actually did use that for a little bit because I would get a lot of my gas at Costco, and I didn't have a Visa card that earned at Costco. So you can,
fair.
Usually not, but sock drawer card. Worst case scenario, it is metal, which is kind of cool. But
it is.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's an S tier card. I think it belongs in probably A.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say S tier. Damn,
yeah, that's too much.
My Freedom Flex was not.
I mean, in my wallet's kind of small right now, but
okay, fair. I think definitely an A. I could see that. Yeah, we'll go with A then.
Okay.
We'll go with A.
And then, if you don't want to pay Amazon Prime, it'll go down to 3%. And then if you do want to pay Amazon Prime again, it'll automatically go up to 5%. So maybe if you're like purchasing stuff during Christmas, you just want it for a couple months. But yeah I think A tier is good. And then now we're moving into the Southwest cards. So with the Southwest cards, not great spending cards. You mostly get them for the benefits, like all airline cards. 3 of them, they're very similar, but the strat with these cards is to get the companion pass. So that allows you to bring someone free with you pretty much wherever you fly. So if you have a wife, even like I considered getting it just because I am always flying with my mom or my brother. You can change it 2 times a year. They could fly for free. But the way you get that is, I believe, 135,000 Southwest points in a calendar year, or 100 one-way flights, which is insane. So the strat most people run is you get one of their personal cards and then their business card at the beginning of the calendar year. That way you have it for 2 full years. And then you can hit the sign-up bonus every 2 years. So 2 years pass, you can close it down and then just have like an infinite companion pass glitch. But that's mostly what it's used for. Would you agree with that synopsis?
Yeah, I would say so. I know. Which one is it? The Premier. One of the cards though has the travel credit. There's like a small travel credit that comes with it, and like certain other benefits, which make it more of a use case for frequent Southwest travelers. But I do agree that most of the time it is just primarily used to bump you up to the companion pass eligibility, and you could rock that.
Yeah, so there is the Plus, the Premier, and then the Priority card. So they all come with usually 50,000 points. Sometimes they'll try to finesse you and like offer an elevated sign-up bonus at the end of the year to kind of try to like trick you into it, because then you don't get the companion pass you get it for like 15 months instead of like full 2 years. But the first two, what is it, $69 annual fee and then a $99 annual fee. They're pretty much the exact same thing. You get some more anniversary points with the $99 annual fee one, early bird check-ins, some points back on in-flight purchases, companion pass qualifying points, 2 points back on Southwest, and then 2 points back on local transit commuting and rideshare, internet, cable, phone,
whatever.
Stream. Yeah, I mean, no one really cares about that. Even 2 points on Southwest is pretty trash. But honestly, neither of those cards are worth getting. The Premier card, or is that right? I'm fumbling here. The Priority card is the only one worth getting because it is $149 annual fee, but you're getting such better benefits. It's actually the only card that, if you don't want to keep closing and opening cards, is worth holding in your wallet, because you get a $75 Southwest travel credit, and then
that's the one,
75,000 anniversary points, which pretty much nulls the annual fee, as well as 4 upgraded boardings per year, and then you get your gimmicky 25% back on in-flight purchases, 10 point.
Yeah, but also tangent again. I flew Southwest for the first time last week.
Really?
Yeah, and
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off again, but didn't they just remove a big benefit? Like you can't bring checked bags for free?
No checked bags anymore.
That's wild. That
Starting the end of May. Right? That was their thing, dude. I was gonna say I'm pissed, even though I've only flown them twice, but I'm pissed because it came in clutch. Because I was shipped a check bag in my golf bag, so that's literally two free bags.
Their flights are more expensive than like American and United, I think, typically, but like you got the check bags for free, so that a lot of times that's like an extra 50, 100, whatever your check bags are, but
I mean, yeah, so I loved it. The whole open boarding thing, I had no problem. Like, honestly, I like everyone. To be fair, I think it wasn't full flights both times, but everyone just respected everyone's space. You just go in, you just choose the seat with that, no one's sitting by. So I always had an empty seat next to me, and everyone's just minding your own business. No, I am not flying Spirit. But yeah, RIP the Southwest and the two free check bags. I think it's gonna screw up their business, man.
I agree.
They shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about the United cards in a second, but like the United cards just took a big hit too. Like all these like Chase co-brand cards are kind of a little bit downhill, I'd say.
Chase, man, they got to get their act together.
I know,
they're getting too comfortable.
Might have to switch over to City soon.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say we're gonna talk about City later, but no, this is a Chase video, so no, we're not. But yeah, City's looking not so bad.
But yeah, I mean, you gotta run the business personal card strat usually to get the companion pass, but I would say the Priority card is miles above the other card.
Yeah, agreed.
I would even throw like maybe the other 2 cards in the D tier, even though by themselves they're not that bad, but because the Priority card is so much better and there's no reason to get those 2 over the Priority card. I don't know. What do you
I know for sure the Priority card is the best one.
I'd say A tier for Priority.
Yeah, A is a good place. The other 2, D tier is
that's kind of
a little severe. But
you can't throw them in the same as Disney.
Yeah, Disney's down there by the bottom. At least C tier.
Okay, we'll throw it in C.
Yeah, C tier. You get the sign-up bonuses. There's some anniversary miles you can take advantage of, but still not the greatest 2 cards out there.
True. All right, let's talk about these United cards. So previously, I mean, I've been kind of a casual besides the Southwest cards, 2 airline cards, but I saw some videos come out a couple weeks where they're pretty much Amexitizing these cards. All the annual fees just increased a crazy amount, and there's a bunch of these weird little coupon-y, like, we'll get into them, like private jet credits. Like, I don't know, man. So what are your thoughts on these new?
Dude, they're United. So I know my uncle recently asked me about, hey, should I get the United Club credit card? And it like kind of made me go back and look at the United cards again after this whole refresh. Although we're gonna have to do it again because I forget exactly what the changes were. But I mean, the United Club specifically, I'm like, you should not be getting that credit card unless you love United Clubs for some reason, because that's an expensive. I think it's like $450 annual fee. I think it's expensive.
Yeah, we'll go through them.
And just the benefits don't add up to that. And here's the big thing too about all airline credit cards too is where's your home airport? Because if you don't fly from like a United hub, especially, that club card is going to be even more crap for you, and if you don't fly United often because you don't have United flights, then no United credit card is going to be good for you. So always my first recommendation for people looking for airline credit cards is, okay, well, what's your home airport?
Same with lounges. We didn't mention that when talking about the reserve.
Exactly. What's your home airport? Where you at? What's
also, sorry, I keep cutting you.
No, go. That was it.
But there's a couple different cards that like Chase transfers, or the preferred card transfers to United 1-to-1. So I think you're going to earn way more points than these cards we're about to talk about by just getting the preferred and then maybe the flex or unlimited. And then I feel like City transfers to United as well, but I could be wrong about that.
I don't remember. I know Built does.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, let's run through these cards really quick. So first, the Getaway card. These are all debut offers. I don't know if they're going to go up or down or just stay the same, but 30,000 bonus miles after spending $1,000 within 3 months. So maybe a couple free flights, not too hard to hit. 2 points back on United purchases, 2 points at gas, 2 points on transit, rideshare, blah, blah, blah. 1 point on everything else. Obviously, those are pretty trash. On their website, they advertise it as 7 points, which seems insane, but like we talked about off camera, you as long as you have like a United account and you book, you're going to get that 5 points regardless. So it's really only 2 points. 25% back on in purchases of food, beverages, Wi-Fi. No foreign transaction fee. 2 check bad certificates, but you have to spend $10,000 on the card per calendar year, so pretty much useless. Okay. And then 0 APR for 12 months. So
this is a 0 annual fee card.
Yeah. Right? So I'm just looking at this card and I have no idea why you'd open it up. No free check bags. You've got to spend $10K. Underwhelming sign-up bonus. I mean, I guess it is a 0 annual fee card. Maybe you could product change one of the other ones to this card, but if you don't want to pay us, but yeah, I mean,
it would only be for the sub, but it's not
even
that
a good
great
sub.
Of a sub. So
gosh, what do you think? C?
I mean,
D seems too low, but I guess C is where to land, right?
I would say C. I would say C.
Okay, and then we got the Explorer card. So maybe you want to explore your empty bank account after you get this card, but
did they raise the annual fee? It was 95 before, I think.
I believe so. What they have now is 0 for the first year and then $150 after the first year. So kind of a US bank thing that they got going on. But 80,000 points after spending $3,000 within 3 months. We're getting to the big dog sign up bonuses now. 2 points on United, dining and hotel stays, 1 point on everything else. First check bag free, so not bad. As well as one companion if your wife or something on the same reservation.
They get a free check bag.
Priority boarding, 2 one-time club passes per year, TSA pre-check, 25% back in flight, and then a lot of little gimmicky statement credits. I don't know if all these are gimmicky. I'll run through them, but what I'm thinking initially is not too bad, but not really worth it for the checked bag. There's a lot of incidental fee cards that'll give you that. So have you been inside a United Club Lounge? I never have. I've heard they're not like amazing, but they're okay.
I think I might have the one in Hawaii, but years ago, like a long time ago. So no, I have not.
All right. So the additional credits, $100 United travel credit, but you have to spend $10,000 per calendar year, which, useless. $100 hotel credit. You got to book it through United. And I believe that is split up into two $50 credits. So questionable as well. $60 each year in ride share, which is splitting up into $5 a month. $50 United credit when you book with Avis or budget cars. I believe that's also splitting up, so another kind of coupon-y one. $100 statement credit for JSX flight, which is like private jet. They added all these, but those are like $1,000 if you want to book it like per person.
Oh my God.
Instacart Plus membership. So quite a list there, man. I kind of looking, like I said, a little bit Amex-y there. Like, I don't know if I'd actually use any of those.
Yeah, I was happy with the card, or okay, happy maybe is a little bit too much, but I was okay with the card before this refresh when it was like $100 annual fee without all of those statement credits, where you would get the free checked bag for you and one more person, priority boarding, and I thought it's not that bad. If you fly a couple times a year and you always are checking in the bag, then this card at $100 when it would pay for itself. And that if you were like a United fan. But after hearing all of this, the statement credit stuff, $150 annual fee, it got worse. It got worse. Much like all that we're going to talk about, but like all the United credit cards got worse. So, I
mean, the one thing that I would see with this card is it does have a pretty good sign-up bonus. So 80,000 points, you can get a lot with that, and 0 annual fee for the first year. So maybe you could hit that product change to the 0 annual fee one, or even just cancel. But still like pretty suboptimal besides the sign-up bonus, I'd say.
Yeah.
I think we'd have to throw this in the C tier.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, it would be I'm trying to compare it to the Southwest cards that we put in the C tier, if it'd be better or worse.
I think the Southwest cards are still much better, especially the Premier, the 149, and the Companion Pass makes it way better than all the United cards.
The 149 one, did we even rank?
No, we didn't.
I feel like because we put the other two in the C tier, we put the priority card.
Yeah, we put it in the A tier.
And I think the plus tier. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So so it'd be the other crap C tier Southwest cards with the United Explorer card.
So I'm thinking top of C tier for this one.
Yeah, I would see that. Yeah.
Maybe you could maybe you could argue bottom of B, but I don't know. I wouldn't argue that. So my favorite of the cards is the Quest card. That's the purple Thanos one. $350 annual fee, but you get 90,000 miles after spending $4,000 within 3 months. 3x on United. So that's starting to, 3x ain't bad, especially if you, pair it with the 5x, you're getting 8x back. 2 miles on, all other travel. Which honestly, not horrible if you think about it, but also not great. And then 2x on dining, streaming services, 1x on everything else. Travel benefits, first and second check bags free, as well as one companion. So that's, good benefit. Priority boarding, 25% back in flight, TSA pre-check, global entry Nexus, complimentary premier upgrades on award tickets. So, I mean, that's a pretty good benefit right there, move up to next class.
You get a chance,
Yeah. Economy plus seat upgrades, but you have to spend $40,000 in purchases, so kind of useless. I don't know, man. I feel there's got to be someone out there that is spending that much on their United card.
Yeah, some people. Yeah, business expenses, even something. Yeah. They could
$200 United credit towards United flights or United operated flights. So that's not bad right there. That already brings the effective annual fee down to $150, right? 10,000 mile discount on award flights each year. So I mean that already brings it down to like 50.
Right. I mean, if you value that $100, exactly.
But and then $150 statement credit towards hotel stays booked through renowned, pretty much United's travel portal. Ride share credits. $8 per month, so I don't know, maybe. And then you got their gimmicky $80 back when you book through United with Avis or budget card. I think that is splitting up again. So maybe, and then 150 for Jets and Instacart.
Yeah.
So one thing I will say, it's kind of fishy how the last card we talked about gave like two lounge entrances, but this card doesn't, even though it has like...
No, yeah, it is weird how they gave the United Club day passes to the Explorer card, and then this Quest card doesn't have anything like that, and you're paying, it's, you know, the more expensive card, which is unfortunate. But like you kind of mentioned earlier, and we had a little sneak peek at, I think this is the best United card all of the bunch, and like, to me, I like those check bag benefits because, again, this past week I used Southwest twice and I used United one time. It's because I went to 2 different cities. That's why I have 3 flights. But for United, I had to pay $90 because I had a check bag and my golf bag. So if you constantly travel with 2 bags, then you're going to be able to make back this annual fee like almost in like 2 trips, 2 round trips, if you have those 2 bags with you all the time. Because dude, check bags are expensive, man.
I have not, I think, ever checked a bag. Like,
in your life?
No. I mean, I kind of just started traveling recently, but I always just travel with like a backpack.
Damn, so, that's cool. I mean,
but I mean, I will eventually, so I'll probably need some of these.
It was probably like domestic flights, shorter trips, right? Okay, yeah.
But I mean, I feel like some of these cards, especially Amex cards, would be better received if they just shaved off some of these credits and put them as even like offers, you know, like Chase offers. But like, you know,
they are not gonna do that, because
if they just kept like seat upgrades, $200 credit, $150 hotel credit, and then 10,000 mile discount for award flights, you know, that shaved off the others. That right there, I think, makes this card pretty good, worth holding long term. Good sign-up bonus as well. In
an ideal world, they should not be raising the annual fee and throwing all these useless credits to justify it.
Yeah,
like, I mean, how you we're going to see that Amex thing. Yeah, we're
going to see that, especially with the next one. I was pretty shocked when I looked at the fee and what they gave you. But
no,
I think this is at least an A tier. What do you think? Would you
Quest card? If you're a United person and you fly a lot, especially with checked bags,
S tier easily if you're that guy. But
for that guy, okay, A tier is solid.
I'd be tempted to throw it in S, but I think for average person it's A.
But I can see that.
Yeah,
we'll go with A.
All right, let's go to the Infinite card.
Oh yeah, that's Infinite, United Club Infinite, right?
Yeah.
Or is it just called Infinite?
I think they call it the new Infinite, or I don't know.
Okay,
Infinite. Infinite statement credits, infinite coupons.
Infinite annual fee.
Yeah, $695, same as the Platinum now.
That's insane.
And they don't even give you a cool metal card, I don't think. I think it's like infused metal, but 95,000 points after spending 5,000 in 3 months. So pretty high spend, and only 5,000 more miles than the Quest card. 4x miles on United, 2x on travel and dining, 1x on everything else. So the main benefits are unlimited lounge access. You know, I mean, we talked about it, but like, I'm kind of getting off track. I feel like at that point, just get the Platinum card, you know? But anyways, 2 check bags, Premier Access, which is, you know, like priority check-in and stuff. Global Entry, TSA, Nexus, 25% back in flight. Free upgrades on award tickets, no foreign transaction fee. The extra perks are $200 hotel credits. I believe that is split up into $100 semi-annually. $150 ride share, $100 rental car, $200 with the JSX, you know, private jet thing. Instacart membership. Maybe I might have missed like 1 or 2, but I'm pretty sure that's it, man. Like, those statement credits aren't that good. I think there's like a couple more weird coupon-y ones in there, but I don't think I'd use a single one of those.
So
maybe
dumb.
hotel. I mean, I already have so many rideshare cards. I don't need any more rideshare credits. But
God, no, this card is trash. When this card was I'm pretty sure it's $450 before this revamp or something like that.
Maybe it was $550, but yeah,
okay, I mean, you know what? Yeah, maybe it was $550, but
in that range.
It made sense to. Okay, well, it's kind of a stretch, but it would make sense to get that card for the United Club access, because the United Club access was more than the annual fee on this credit card. So if you're someone who super wants to go to a United Club lounge, don't get the actual club lounge membership, get this credit card instead, which gives you that and then some. But now at a $700 annual fee, that might be the same amount as the club membership fee. I don't recall what that price is for the United Club membership now, but this card's too expensive.
Yeah,
this is insane. I mean,
I don't know in what world you'd choose this over the platinum card, you know, because I think there's way more Centurion lounges. Maybe they're a bit more overcrowded, but I think they're nicer as well.
Yeah, this is tough.
I just don't get it, man. And the Quest is, I just think, an infinitely better card than this.
Yeah,
kind of dropped the ball, or Amex
exactly.
card.
Because really, if the argument for some people is if you're a hardcore United fan, then you'd get this card.
But even the Quest makes like infinitely more sense.
Yeah, I think
hardcore.
with the United Silver, like that's the first status. I think, you know, if you're a frequent United traveler, then I'm gonna assume you have at least United Silver status, and that gives you a free checked bag, and it actually can get you a complimentary upgrade if there's room available on that flight. Like I've had Silver status for a little bit, and I got Economy Plus upgrades, you know, which was cool. But I've heard some people get upgraded to first class. Rare, but nonetheless, it has happened. Like that's the better situation. Like you should just get the Quest card and just have United Silver status as opposed to trying to get the United Infinite card, which just doesn't give you as much value as it should for a $700 annual fee credit card.
That's insane. I think we got to throw it in D tier, right?
For the annual fee, but the price now that I hear with the whole revamp. Yeah.
D tier it is.
Yeah, Disney's not lonely anymore.
And then we'll try to run through these a little bit quicker, but we got the Marriott Boundfull cards.
Okay.
So quick over. I mean, I'm kind of casual on these cards as well, but I'm more of an Airbnb guy, to be honest. I'll stay in like hotels with my Chase points now, you know, but most of the time I'm just booking Airbnbs. But the way I say it is there's 3 cards. One of them makes sense, and the other 2 are kind of pretty much trash unless you want, you know, status, I guess. But the Bold, no annual fee, only 30,000 points when you spend 1,000 in 3 months. And I believe these are worth like 0.7 cents. So even though they earn like crazy high points, it's not all that. You know, you kind of got to cut it in half. But yeah, maybe like $150 worth of value there. 14 points per dollar spent on Marriott, and I believe that is inflated because they give you like 5 points or something.
For just being a member. Right.
Yeah. 2 points per dollar spent on groceries, rideshare, streaming, but none of that makes, you know, none of that matters. 1 point per dollar spent on everything else and no foreign transaction fee. So I don't
think it's not that great. Probably C tier, honestly.
C.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't really. I guess you could argue sign-up bonus, but that's I mean, you'd be better off with just like, you know, a U.S. Bank $200 sign-up bonus.
Yeah, get another sub.
Yeah. Then we got the Marriott Boundless, and this is the one that I like. So
yes,
I've seen in the past they offer 5 free nights certificate, which is pretty insane value, honestly. I think you can get like some pretty crazy properties. I think up to 35,000 points if I'm not tripping.
Per night. Yeah.
So, I mean, if you got like a honeymoon or something, you know, or just like a sick vacation you're staying at, you know, you can look out some sick properties, get like $2,000 worth of value from that, as well as usually like a 50,000 point sign-up bonus. So you also get 17 points back on Marriott, 3 points per dollar on grocery, gas, and dining, which, you know, whatever. Yep. But the big one is you get a free night award.
Yes.
So that pretty much pays for the card right there, you know.
Exactly.
You stay in Marriott one time a year.
I agree. That is the saving grace for this credit card.
Honestly,
that's all I use is the free night award sorry, I don't have this card. I have the Amex Boundfull business card, which has a free night as well, but that's pretty much the only reason why I have that card. Okay, well, we're going into the weeds now. I also have it to try and get elite status, but anyway, the free night award for the Boundless card is clutch. It's what makes it at least a decent credit card for, again, those like one night off stays that you're stranded or something.
Yeah, or even if you're booking with points and you want to add an extra night, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
But, so where would you put this in the ranking then, if it's for the annual fee or for the annual free night award?
I'm split between B and A, honestly.
Okay, I agree.
Because I mean, if like Yeah, I mean, you book like one, maybe with that free night award, $300 property or something, and then that if you can get that 5 free nights. Right now they're offering 3, and even that's like really good value for $95 annual fee. So I feel like A, or would you throw it in B?
I would just put it in B because I already know where I'm going to put the Hyatt card, and I want to make sure there's room there.
I would agree with that.
But it's a high B. It's a high B. B
and have you
plus.
stayed? I've actually never been in a Marriott property, which is probably why I'm such a casual. No, not yet.
I've seen in some Marriotts. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta get away from the Airbnb world and actually experience some of these hotels.
That's a part of growing up. Because I know I was a huge Airbnb fan. Why am I still? It depends on last week when I was traveling, it was like 6 of us dudes.
I was about to say, I mean, that
was an Airbnb.
In our 20s, most of the time I'm traveling with like some of my friends. We're going somewhere, and it's like, what are we gonna get? Like 2-3 separate hotels, or like 5 of us in one bed, or
that's
just
expensive.
like
especially because not all my friends are. I don't think any of them actually are in the credit card game, so they're paying this out of pocket.
Side tangent, but another cool thing, I just made a video on best Airbnb cards, but like what I do if I'm booking like a $500-$600 stay with Airbnb, I'll just throw it on my reserve card, get like hella points, 1,500 free points, and have them Zelle me. I mean, I'm sure you do the same thing, even like dining, going out to eat and stuff, but anyways, but Boundfull card, I believe you get gold status with this one, so free room upgrades, late checkout, $250 annual fee, $85,000 sign-up bonus, $4,000 within 3 months, 18.5 points per dollar spent on Marriott, 4 points per dollar spent, up to $15,000 per year on grocery and dining, 2 points for every dollar spent on all their purchases, and then 1,000 bonus points per eligible stay at hotels. So it's getting to the point where some of the rewards are sort of usable, I guess, if you're like, you're not really into the credit card game. You just want one card. You always stay at Marriott's. You just want to put all your spend on it. But I don't know, man.
This is the one though that they don't give you a free night award. You have to hit that spend on, right?
Yeah. You have to. I
how much it was.
That. You got to spend.
It was a lot though.
I think like 15,000 or something. I'll put it up on screen, but
that right there makes no sense to me.
Yeah, it's crazy how like the 95 one is infinitely better than the 251. But I mean, I Chase probably has, and Bonvoy has so many casuals just sign up for it because it has a 250 and they just assume that it's better without doing any research. But
this is just a thought right now, but I'm wondering if it's like the price anchoring where they make the $95 annual fee card way more appealing with the free night award because they know people are going to gravitate towards that, especially since it's $95, whereas if they give you a free night award on the $250 annual fee card, without any crazy benefits or anything, not too many people are going to gravitate towards that because it's like, oh, okay, it's $250, you only get one free night. So then, they wouldn't get that card. So they would capture a way larger audience with a cheaper credit card having that free night award benefit that they wouldn't have gotten. So they're like selling way more of these Boundless cards now, and then expecting this Bountiful card not to sell because they want the Boundless sales in the first place. Yeah,
kind of like the reverse like popcorn movie trick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see what you're saying there. All right, final card we're talking about today. We're on the home stretch. That is the World of Hyatt personal card.
Wait, sorry. Did we rank that one?
No, we didn't.
What was the Boundless? Okay. Wait, no, this is the Bountiful.
Yeah, Bountiful.
Because we did Boundless was B+. A. It was A.
Boundless was B.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Wait,
B, okay.
The $95 one was A. Or, sorry, 95 was B.
It was B, yeah. The Bountiful, which is what we just covered. D or C, bro?
We'll go D,
okay.
I guess, because I don't know if there's a reason to...
Throw it in the dumps. Okay, there we go. Okay.
All right, now we're home stretch. Final card. People love this card.
Yeah.
It's on my roadmap, but that is the World of Hyatt personal card. $95 annual fee. Pretty similar to the 95 one from Marriott that we just talked about.
Right.
But they advertise a 60,000 point sign-up bonus, but it's really 30,000 points after spending 3,000 in 3 months, so not too hard to hit. And then you get an additional 30,000 points by spending, by getting 2 bonus points per dollar spent. But you would normally earn 1 point anyway, so it's kind of just one extra point.
Yeah, and
know?
you'd have to spend
$15,000 in 6
$1,000
months
to get the like. I hate when they do that, when they trick us with the little marketing.
I know, man. Chase is, I don't know, man. Dude, Chase is kind of like,
They're snaky.
that's what I'm saying, man.
They're too comfortable. We should all boycott Chase.
I know.
Oh, but
What would we go to?
I don't know. I love Amex, but it would probably be City, honestly. City's up and coming.
City's got some questionable customer service.
Yeah, it's nowhere near the same, but to prove a point,
there's some good credit union cards, but they don't have transfer partners.
Yeah, no,
if Navy Fed locked in and got some transfer partners, they'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
Same with Penn Fed, honestly. But
everyone's got their own issues.
I like Capital One, man.
Credit issuers.
I'm a huge fan of Capital One. I don't have any other cards, but I'm a huge fan.
They need more than the Venture X and the Saver One, though.
Yeah, true.
I mean, those two cards are amazing, though. I mean, no shade, but
yeah. Anyways,
okay, World of Hyatt. Yes, back to World of
Hyatt.
Hyatt.
So a little bit of a tricky sign-up bonus, but Hyatt points, I mean, they're so easy to get good redemption. I feel like you would struggle trying to find under 2 cent per point redemptions, unless you're like, but 9 points per dollar spent on Hyatt hotels and resorts. You get 4 bonus points from the card, 4 base by just being a World of Hyatt customer, 2 points per dollar spent on restaurants, airline tickets purchased directly through airlines, local transit and commuting, fitness clubs and gym memberships, and $1 spent on everything else. So obviously a lot of points for booking Hyatt. I don't know that I'd ever pay cash for a Hyatt just because I am kind of a Airbnb guy as currently. But
you need to be converted.
Yeah, maybe I don't know if you're going to the Puerto Rico thing, but maybe I'll stay in a hotel down there. 2 points per dollar. They're not horrible just because of the value you get. I would say fitness club and gym memberships. I do tend to spend a lot of money on gym memberships, especially if I'm doing MMA around here, which I'm not right now, but I should.
Oh, damn, do that.
Dude, those are like, it's crazy. You got to spend like $150 for like a cheap MMA gym. It's insane.
Oh my.
But yeah, I mean that's not bad. There's not a lot of cards besides like, I think the Attune and then BOFA or not BOFA, US Bank. What is it? Custom cash. Not custom cash. Whatever, they're 5%. It's escaping me now. But not a bad card to put your gym membership on, But flagship benefit of this card is just like the 95 from Marriott, a free night every card anniversary year, any category 1 to 4, and then an additional free night if you somehow spend $15,000 on this card.
Yeah, clutch.
So I think I already know where you're gonna put this.
Yeah, you could take a guess. But the reason why also I place it over the Marriott Boundless card is because Hyatt's got the good redemption, so the points from this credit card are worth more than the Marriott Boundless card. But also, assuming you have the other Chase cards like the Sapphire and you're in the Chase Ultimate Rewards ecosystem, you're more likely, I would say most of you guys would transfer your Chase points to a Hyatt over a Marriott. So therefore, if you have this World of Hyatt credit card and you pop that annual free night award on one day, you transfer points from your Chase card to cover the rest of your trip. Whereas with Marriott, it's like, okay, you have this one free night award, you'd use it for that one day, but I don't really want to use my Chase points to cover the rest of the stays, so you're only going to get less than 1 cent per point on those most of the time. So that's why A is my ranking for this card.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, I might even go S, honestly, but
you're trigger finger for those S's over here. But
yeah, that's why exactly what you just said is why this card is on my roadmap, and the Marriott card is not, is because I don't know. I'm obviously I'm a hotel casual, but I would. I don't know. Hyatt sounds better than Marriott to me for some reason, but also because I'm now into the Chase ecosystem.
Deep,
so
you're deep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be transferring when I'm not staying at Airbnbs, transferring my points to Hyatt, and that'll just cover an extra night.
Exactly. And I'm pretty sure I don't remember if you mentioned, but maybe I'm making this up. But I think the World of Hyatt card also give you Discovery status too, right? But it's definitely more than the Boundless card gives you. The $95 Marriott card. So that's why even more so the Hyatt card's above the Boundless card.
Okay, last thing, closing out, we got to talk about it because this is a Chase card video, is 524.
Okay.
Why do they? First of all, from a business standpoint, why would they have that? Wouldn't they want everyone to get their cards? I mean, like their 100-point sign-up bonus on the preferred right now because they want new customers. Like, just don't have a 100,000 point offer and get rid of Chase 524, and you'd have infinitely more people applying for the preferred. You know.
It's just all these banks have their anti-churning policies, and that's just Chase's version of it. It is a bit humbug to always have to keep track of that. Like it's actually pisses me off more than actually maybe not. I was going to compare it to Amex pop-up jail, but that's also very frustrating. And at least you don't,
arguably even worse.
You have more control on the Chase 524 rule, because the Amex pop-up jail just like shank you from the back without you even knowing. But at least Chase 524, you know, if you open 10 credit cards in the past year, it's like, okay, I'm not eligible.
Yeah.
I mean,
something Spencer talked about as well is it kind of forces you to get the Chase cards in a sense, because I mean, I probably wouldn't have gotten the Reserve if that 524, you know, I probably would have got the Venture X first, you know. I'd probably get the Capital One Duo, maybe I'd even hit a couple more sign-up bonuses on like the Amex cards, but like because that 524 rule exists, my next couple cards in my roadmap is Chase cards, you know, because I'm forced into that. So I don't know, maybe I'm just yapping here.
No, I agree. And I say that too from time to time. They groom you. Chase grooms you, bro. Like they want you to, when you're young and ripe for your credit card journey, man. Like they want these new people to get Chase first.
Yeah, it's a wild way of putting it, but that's true.
Yeah, I mean,
and then you're more likely to just stick with Chase at that point, because it's like, how far is the average person going to go down the credit card rabbit hole?
Yeah,
credit card rabbit hole.
Yeah, some people just chilling on 3 cards and it's like all Chase. Okay, so they're capturing that young audience, like you know, of age audience. I was like, I don't want to come off like a creep with saying like grooming and
it's a wild
all
way
this
to
other
put
stuff,
it,
but
makes
you
sense,
know,
to be
it's just
honest.
like seriously, they're trying to take advantage of, or you know, they want these newer people to get Chase cards first. Yeah, and you're like stuck with them.
Yeah. Well, I think that wraps it up. I don't have a lot of these cards, so if you guys want to sign up for these cards, I'll put your affiliate links down in the description. And yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. It was fun.
Sick studio, fun time. LA is. You gotta come. You gotta spend more time in Orange County. It's honestly way better.
Yeah, I'll go check it out. I'll make the drive down and meet you.
Hell yeah.
All right, appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you.